This episode is brought to you by HP Plus. In a world full of smart devices, isn't it about time your printer got smart too? Now printing is smart with HP Plus, and the HP Smart app is how it all happens. You can print from your phone with just a tap, no matter where you are, even from your garage/home office/yoga studio. Huh, that is smart. HP Plus. Learn more about smart printing at hp.com/smart.
Rashford, he's in here, he scores! Marcus Rashford takes yet another step up the ladder. And it's a lad from Manchester who scored.
Only chance in my team like Man U. Yeah, like Man U.
Trying to get in again.
Thank you, man. Bars in my head like shampoo. Violate my squad, might bang you. Only chance in my team like Man U. Yeah, like Man U.
Nani. Ready! Defies description. How about Martial is isolated. Skirtle here. Oh yes! Welcome to Manchester United, Anthony Martial.
I beef her backstage till the bar's done. Slap one, slap two, that she danced on. Like Rashford, I'm a fast one. Thank you, man. Bars in my head like shampoo. Violate my squad, might bang you. Only chance in my team like Man U. Yeah, like Man U. Thank you, man. Bars in my head like shampoo. Violate my squad, might bang you. Only chance in my team like Man U. Yeah, like Man U. Still bangles.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Mugga. This week I'm joined by Sebi. How's it going, Sebi?
What's good? What's good? I'm here.
Good to see you. Good to see you or not. Dre, how you doing, mate? You're becoming something of a regular. A fan favorite, if you would.
Just trying to keep up appearances, you know.
We appreciate it. What are you saying to me?
Good day, FM. I warned them. them.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, thing today, come on. You already know what it is. P6.
You did. Before we start, as usual, I have to do the usual plug the social. So if you're not following us already, we've got the Mugga Touchline account. Give that a follow. Obviously, follow the YouTube channel. If you're watching this, I assume you're already subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. And as you're watching, please make sure you're clicking that like button. What you can see at the bottom scrolled is a banner for our live show this Sunday. Sunday the 22nd is at the Brewdog in Dalston. We'll be showing two games. So there's 2 p.m. kickoff, Man United versus Southampton. And then obviously we've got the big game, Arsenal versus Chelsea. So what we should hopefully get is see our team do our job. Then we get a win-win situation. You know, Arsenal win, cool, we laugh at Chelsea. Chelsea win, we laugh at Arsenal. If they draw, we've created a little gap. So you really can't lose. And with the ticket, you also get a free drink on entry as well. So, you know, for me, it sounds like a no-brainer. But with that being said, let's get into business. The comments are already popping off. Birds fly.
Let's go.
You know how I feel. We had our first game of the season, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. We always know that is potentially sticky territory, but not for us. It ended up being a 5-1 battering of Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds. I'll start with you, Timmy. What were your thoughts on the performance? I don't know, did you go to Old Trafford for this one?
Yeah, I was there still. First.
So before you talk about the performance, what was the atmosphere like?
Bro, when Varane come out, crazy, bro. Crazy. But do you know what? Yeah, first full capacity game since COVID, innit? And you could just tell like the place was just rocking, man. I wish I was sat in Stretford End. I was at like the other side of it. I was like somewhat to like the right of the Stretford End, innit? But them lot stood up for the whole game. I mean, they do it anyway, but it was just something different. All the chants were coming, like it was rocking, it was noisy, it was loud, and yeah, the all-round vibe was just great, man. Honestly, it was such a good day out, man.
Obviously, we saw the lads back in their seats in front of in right at front and set the
Get
seat.
me.
The seat massive. Listen, they're coming through, and you know it's gonna be a good day, isn't it? So get into the game, get into what you saw in the first half. What were your thoughts on the performance?
Bro, I've got nothing bad to say about anyone apart from Daniel James. So, honestly, I've got nothing bad to say about anyone but him. I think you know, we started quite well actually. I'm talking like the first 5 to 10 minutes. Had them under pressure. We got 2 quick corners, which came to nothing, and then they started easing their way back into the game. Pogba was a little bit sloppy on the ball. Bruno was a bit sloppy on the ball. Daniel James had a few openings that he couldn't convert. Have you not? But once we got a stranglehold on the game again, honestly, it was just pretty plain sailing from there. Pogba started picking out his passes. Bruno started getting into more space. He started like making runs into the opposition's penalty area, which ultimately led to the first goal. And at halftime, we were definitely good value for the lead. I felt like we could have had a couple before halftime. Daniel James had 2 good chances. Pogba missed the flipping sitter as well. And I thought, pardon me, on the balance of play, 1-0 probably was flattering for Leeds. I think we could have gone in 2-0 up. And from then I was like super confident. I just wanted them to do the same thing in the second half. And lo and behold, started the second half, like 2 minutes in or something. I mean, it's a wonder goal, isn't it? Like, I can't really blame anyone for that. It's just a wonder goal, man. It's a great strike. But what I loved was the fact that straight away, and this weren't happening last season. When we were conceding goals, this weren't happening last season. We weren't getting straight back onto the front foot straight away. We said, nah. You got that lucky goal? Nah, that's not going to stop us. Then boom, Greenwood, 2-1. What a finish by Greenwood, by the way. What a finish. I need someone, listen, let me take 2 minutes. Sorry, guys. Let me take 2 minutes to talk about this goal, yeah? Because when I was there live, right, and from where I could see the full pitch, because they were shooting up this end, didn't it? Pogba's picked up the ball, right? And I kid you not, Daniel James has probably made the best run of his life, right? And I kid you not, bro, all Pogba needs to do is just slip him in. It's a much easier pass than the pass he actually played. Slip my man in, and he's 1-on-1, and he should score. But this is why Pogba's the GOAT, fam, because he knows that that's Daniel James on the end of the pass, not Jadon Sancho. Not Marcus Rashford, not Mason Greenwood on the end of that pass that he could have played to Dan James. He said, nah, you're gonna fuck that up. I'm gonna play a more difficult pass, but I know if Greenwood gets on the end of it, we're going 2-1 up. And what a pass that was. What a pass. Greenwood, first touch, impeccable. Like the pass was just inch perfect. It's just straight in his stride, but his first touch was so good. Like he just comes across the defender that's tracking him, and at that point he's gone. You're not going to catch him. And then you know what it's like with Greenwood and opposite corner strikes and that cash money, bro. 2-1, and then from then on it was just smooth sailing. You know what I mean? I ain't got to say too much. Something light.
Calm. Seb, I'm going to come across to you. I know you're on the Discord on Saturday, holding it down. There's a couple of players that Timmy mentioned there who I want to get a bit more from you in terms of their performance. I'm going to start with Mason Greenwood. Obviously, we saw him in a bit of different role this game from what we've been accustomed to. I want to get your thoughts on his performance and what we should hope to expect from Mason this season, how he should be used.
Greenwood was really good. I'm a big fan of him playing as a centre forward, so I was happy to see him start there. Like when I saw the lineup, I knew, all right, cool, this is where Greenwood's going to start, and I think that's where he's going to grow up and spend the majority of his career playing in that position. I think he started the game quite bright. Seems like he's bulked up a bit. I think it was Lincoln playing well. And in the first half, it was having a bit of a 50-50 game. I don't think it was too bad. I don't think it was great. but I think he was just doing his job. And again, just, you know, first game back, just having a feel of things. But again, second half, I think he really improved. Obviously, speaking about the goal he scored, you know, that goal is super easy to mess up, right? Because, yeah, Pogba's played a great pass, but like the pass is so good, it's come right in his stride, But like more time, like another player like overhits that. So you know when you hit it, it becomes like a pace battle. And then when you overhit it, usually like the striker maybe has like one touch to finish or whatever. The keeper potentially comes out or whatever. But the pass is so good. It's not like a striker's favorite pass, but the pass is so good that it's in his stride. And now he has work to do. You've got a player coming, you know, on your right hand side. So you have to hold him off, and you also have to maintain control. That was elite level for me. Like that was super elite level, because if he had messed that up or said, Greenwood, but I would have understood it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it was very, very difficult. And I just think he's just kind of like growing into his strides. And I think, you know, this season, if he keeps fit and he continues to play games, I think he's going to be, well, obviously Bruno's bagged the hat-trick, but I think he's going to probably be our top goal scorer. And he's probably going to be the one that we look to for answers, especially in the tough games.
Cool. That's high praise. I'm going to come across to you, Drake, to talk about a certain Paul Pogba. I think Timmy mentioned it. Someone in the comments asking Timmy for tickets. A certain Paul Pogba.
4 assists.
Who had 4 assists. I think that puts him in, I think, is another, half a dozen players or so. Bunch of them from Arsenal, funnily enough, how that club has fallen off. But yeah, put him in some rarefied air. But I want to get your thoughts on his performance overall. And it looks like he's going to stay now. What this team can achieve with him in the side.
Paul Labil Pogba put in a virtuoso performance on Saturday. That's one of the best midfield performances I've seen in the Premier League. Like, it was just pure quality. The passing, the way he got about the pitch.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to say we should be playing him out on the left on the regular, but that worked beautifully. Him dovetailing with Sancho, and then Greenwood's making them runs. It's just, it was just beautiful to watch. There was something different with Pogba, with Bruno, with the whole lot of them on Saturday. Like, it just seemed like the mission is to win the league this year. Right.
Okay, you're putting it out there, yeah?
The mission, you could tell. Like, I know we smacked them up 6-2 back.
This is good music.
That day felt different. Like, I was saying it to my friend like yesterday. Like, I remember 2006, 2007, yeah. Where opening day we played Fulham and we smacked them up 5-0. And I remember that day I said to my brother, we're gonna win the league, you know. That performance was the performance of Pogba and Bruno and them, man. I'm not saying we're gonna win the league, but I had that feeling on Saturday watching that game. And I don't think Pogba's going to stay. I think he's going to be gone at the end of the season. But if he can give us one final season of just class, quality, and performances, and the trophy and possibly the league, then I'm fine with that, innit? I need 37 for Saturday.
That's a Jay spitting that chronic.
and Dre, what does that do for his legacy? Obviously, we saw Micah Richards discussing. Yeah, we saw Micah Richards discussing the treatment Pogba received from the media in comparison to Harry Kane, etc. But what does that mean if he's able to end his time here with a league title? You've got rival fans saying that, why are you guys saying you can't win the title? You apparently got a superstar squad. I don't know if you saw the team that was made up of all the players who didn't play. You're seeing Dalot there, you're seeing Varane, you're seeing Bailly, you're seeing Telles, you're seeing Van der Beek, you're seeing Matic, you're seeing Rashford, Sancho, Cavani. These are good footballers. So obviously previous pod, 96 points. We won't speak on that too much. But do we at this point, in terms of how long Ollie's been here, the investment he's had, the quality of players he's had, do we need to be saying that we need to be right up there with whoever's fighting for that title this season?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. He's got no excuse now, man. He's got no, bro. If we're being real within ourselves, yeah, United have two of the best 5 players in the Premier League in their team, right? In Paul Pogba and Bruno. Bruno is obviously more efficiency than anything else, but with the numbers that he puts up, you can't keep him out of the top 5 shouts. Like, so top 5 in no order will be KDB, Kane, Pogba, Bruno, and Salah. Right, those are the best 5 players in the Premier League right now, and United have 2 of those players. Coupled with players like Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, who for me is breaking in the top 10. Rashford also for me is good enough to be in the top 10 as well. We've now got Varane at centre back, who's top 2 centre backs in the league, along with Maguire, who a lot of people might say is the 3rd best centre back in the league as well. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, now there's
what say you, sir? Where do you have him?
Somewhere between like 6 and 10, maybe.
Okay, I mean, he's making progress. He's coming up your rankings. I know.
Yeah, like, bro, he's getting better. But you know me, I'll never be a big Maguire fan, innit? But
yeah,
as of now, we just have no excuse. Like, the team is primed now, and the only thing stopping us from winning the league is Ollie. So now it's up to him to prove everybody wrong, because I think he could probably do it. He can do it.
Funny enough, we were having this conversation earlier, and someone was saying that Ollie, he's come in, he's improved the team in terms of league position, he's improved the team in terms of individual player performances. How long can we say that he's not actually a good manager? Because we always say it's Ollie, and maybe we're giving him a hard time. Seb, I'll come across to you because you were in that conversation. What do you think of that point? Is that something you agree with? Is it something you disagree with? Are we not giving Ollie the credit he deserves?
Yeah, I think Ollie definitely doesn't get the credit he deserves, because again, we've seen like previous managers with similar squads, and even similar level squads, if we're being really, really honest, and do shockingly poor. David Moyes took over a championship winning squad, regardless if you think they were championship winning quality, and finished what, 6th or 7th or whatever he finished. So that team, at least bare minimum, should have finished 3rd, right? We've seen LVG have the likes of Di Maria, Rooney, Falcao, Van Persie, and struggle. We've seen Jose Mourinho bring in Lukaku. We've seen Jose Mourinho bring in Ibrahimovic, bring in Pogba, and finish what, 4th or whatever, 3rd or whatever he's finished, and he's saying it's a title.
Second, didn't he? Yeah,
got a fake 2nd and saying it's a title. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then finish 4th or 5th or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, this has been our first real point of continuity since Fergie left, right? And again, like, football isn't linear. Yeah, so anybody says, "Oh, Ollie finished 3rd, and then it's going to finish 2nd, it's going to finish 1st." It doesn't work like that. But we have seen clear progression, whether that be the people that he keeps out of the squad, and just knowing your players that, all right, cool, this player should not be playing. The only reason why this player is playing is maybe because I don't have any other players, but I'm not playing this player because I think he's good or I think he's better than anybody else. I'm not spiting. I'm not playing Pogba because his agent came out and said and I've benched him or whatever. I'm going to try and fit my best players, in this team, and we're going to try and win the game. If things don't work, I'm going to try switch it up. So the McFred thing come about is because he thought Pogba was a defensive liability, right? So Pogba, so because he thinks Pogba is a defensive liability, he's now moved Pogba left wing. I think Rashford was out at the time or whatever, and Rashford's obviously again, the guy, because he can play multiple positions, fine, let's move him, whatever, right? So even having like the noble to kind of, all right, cool, it's not working here, but this is still my best player or still one of my best players, let me put him in another position. That also takes some type of management, because I've seen other managers just bench their best player, right? So I've seen managers, but all right, cool. I've got a left winger here, for balance. Pogba, you're gonna have to sit on the bench. Sorry, we're gonna do this Fred thing for the rest of the season. Yeah, and then even if we're speaking about Sunday or Saturday or Saturday, sorry, whenever the game was, the role Pogba played was a different role. So he had a free role in the in that game, yeah. And a big critique of Bruno is that Bruno does not create enough, yeah. But Pogba was our creative hub throughout that whole game. He had license to roam, get on the ball, and just do him, yeah. So I don't know, how many games we can continue to play like that. But I'm saying that takes, some type of management, right? To say, all right, cool, Pogba, you do this. Bruno, you're second striker, you do this. You know what I mean? This person does this or whatever. So he's making correct decisions. And he has made wrong decisions and he has lost finals. But when we look at what we've had previously, he's trending in the right direction. Greenwood has spoken positively of him in regards to him just being a striker and just learning the game and whatever. Everybody speaks, in a positive way about Oli. So it's about, yes, tempering our expectations. Oli isn't Pep Guardiola, but he's much better than what people give him credit for. And when Arteta, Lampard and Oli first started their jobs at their respective clubs, Oli was named the PE teacher. The other ones had the hype. But it looks like Lampard and Arteta are the PE teachers, and Oli at least deserves some type of credit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, in fairness to Lampard, he had a very good season at Derby. So kind of
bro, he didn't, He finished
the
same. No, wait. He finished the same position that Derby finished in the previous season, bro.
Yeah, but the difference is they weren't supposed to make it there. They then beat the championship favourites in 2 legs in the first in their first playoff game against Leeds. They beat Leeds twice and made it to the playoff finals. Lampard had a very, very good first season. A very, very good first season. So I think between the three of them, Lampard for me was already like ahead of them because he'd already like cemented his like somewhat like rep for doing what he did, whereas Arteta had the rep because he was under Pep. And Oli, everyone just dubbed him the PE teacher because he got Cardiff relegated, when if anyone actually knew what they were talking about, they'd know that he came to Cardiff midway through the season when they were already bottom. So it's not as if he's the reason that they went down. Do you know what I mean? But it's just he came from Molde, an unknown team, and it's like this guy doesn't really have the credentials for the job, which he didn't, right? And the thing with Oli is Lampard, like I said, he'd already been certified in this thing with Derby. And then the thing with Arteta is that like he was under like one of the greatest managers of all time. So it's like now it just leaves Oli, who's just this PE teacher. Plus everyone hates United anyway, so they're gonna do what they can to get on us. Do you know what I mean? But if we're being completely honest, Oli is better than both of them. And he's proven that he's better than both of them. And it's true, he doesn't get enough credit because every time United do something good, everyone always starts talking about the individual brilliance. Sebi hit the nail on the head, right, with moving Pogba to left wing. Although he just starts there, innit? Like, I haven't seen many heat maps, but I reckon if you bring heat maps of where Pogba's playing, I think a lot of the time he is more central than anywhere else. Luke Shaw does a lot of bombing up and down that left wing to keep the shape somewhat and give us more options on the left. He also interchanges with Bruno a lot, Pogba. But these aren't things that we can just say these guys are doing it because they know how to play football. These are probably things that Oli has told them. Like, look, yeah, Paul, you're going to start out on the left, but we're going to need you in the middle. We know we're going to need your creativity around there. So, when you get a little bit of license, move inside. If you want to swap with Bruno for a bit, swap with Bruno for a bit. And these are the little things that we're not giving Oli credit for. That Sebi's right, he does deserve credit for, because at the end of the day, we can't keep saying, these are just doing it because they're good footballers. We're only winning games because we got great footballers around us, bro. You can't look at that result yesterday. You can't look at that match yesterday and tell me that this team isn't well coached. You can't look at it, and it's such a lazy cop out. And I'm not the biggest Ollie fan, you know I'm not, but it's such a lazy cop out to be like, oh, United aren't well coached, or we don't play well, blah 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 blah. Because you know what? In fairness, we actually, when we're on song, we actually do play pretty well. And when we're not playing well, it's not because we don't play well, it's because our players aren't playing like they're supposed to. So it's all disjointed and rugged, and you know. And like tired basically. So Ollie does deserve credit, and I'm happy that we now all here saying that Ollie deserves this credit, because now he definitely has no excuse.
So
now
yeah,
no excuse.
Okay, cool. So what I'll say off the back of that then is, what constitutes him having a bad season and puts his head on the chopping block? And I'll come to you, Dre, where we've outlined now that the expectation is for us to compete. What constitutes he hasn't done well enough, he has to go, and what constitutes we'll give him a bit more resource and we'll go again next season? I just want us to be clear among ourselves here on Mugga what the expectations are for Ollie, and we discuss as the season goes on.
I think no trophy and not even being in the title race, but finish top 4. I think he has to go, because he's now got that team where minimum we should be winning a trophy this year. What constitutes a good season? I think even if we don't win a trophy, but we run whoever wins the league close, like the final couple.
What is that? Is that still in the title race with 10 games to go, 5 games to go?
We're in that title race come May.
Okay.
The latter parts of May, he could possibly stay. But it's got to be a trophy this year. I think that will keep United fans happy. Well, to me, I want a league, man.
Okay, that's interesting. And I'll add a further question off the back of my initial question. If we were to get rid of him, who is the outstanding candidate to come in and replace him?
Conte.
Interesting. Seb, any names?
I can't do the Conte thing. The reason why I can't do the Conte thing is because Conte. No, forget the football. Forget that, because I want to win in it. Conte, is basically like we sell our soul, and then the squad left is so dire that it's just insane. And knowing our board, it will take so long to replace all these people that only Conte can get the best out of. So that's why I wouldn't take him. I think he'll win, and I think I like it. I again, sometimes he's boring, but sometimes it actually plays good football. I just think because of our board, if we had a City board, where all right, cool, quick signings, we'll send everybody that Conte will ship out, I'll say straight away, I'm on that, whatever. But just because of that, I'm not on it. So I would take. I'll take. Okay,
let me ask you guys. Let me throw out some names. Pochettino, Mauricio Pochettino.
No, I'm not on the Poch thing anymore.
No, he used to win the Champions League.
What, you're done with Poch, yeah?
Yeah, for me,
he's never really been a Poch fan like that.
But for me, I was like, what's the difference here between Ollie and Poch?
Okay,
that's how I look at it. Like, I want a clear style difference. Yeah, I need a clear, like very, very clear style difference if I'm bringing in another manager. I.e., you mentioned Conte. That's a very clear style difference. Different way of playing, different personnel, different ethos, different everything. I think Poch and Ollie are different, are quite similar. I just think Poch is more polished than Ollie. Right? I think Poch is a more polished version.
The execution is better, and I think...
Yeah, the execution is better.
Ooh, ouch. Ooh, that's a real shiv in the side there for me, Seb. And by the by, just since you're here, an episode of Pogba Watch for the people this week. Since we're not calling it Pogba Watch this season because we're going to call it The Watch, and we'll report on different players each week, each fortnight that we do it. But just wanted to hold you to that because the patrons have been asking for you, sir.
Bro, Sebby's trying to jump into Pogba FC, blood.
Hey, man, come on, man. You know the vibes.
Man. Nah, bro, no chance. No ID, no entry. No ID, no entry.
Cool.
No way.
Cool. So we talk about let's talk about Varane, because obviously that's been confirmed now. He's come out. He's the number 19. There's some murmurs that Phil Jones didn't give the shout. I'm not
Champions League Varane.
Capture Varane. So obviously, Lindelof now named the Sweden captain. Lovely pass for Bruno's third goal. I'm going to go around and ask you guys again. If you're Ollie, off the back of that performance, we've got Southampton on the weekend, 20-second live show. I'll post a link in the chat, actually, for those of you who are here. Do you drop Lindelof from a winning team and winning formula for Varane, or do you tell Varane to just chill a bit and we ease you into it? Timmy, I'll start with you.
Like ease him in, give him a couple of days, a week or so of training. Let him. I think is there a thing next week? Because I know that are the fixtures congested again, like last season, this season, or they're just normal?
I think it's a bit. Congested. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, like, if we got like a third round League Cup, like just like ease him in there, like let him get some minutes under his belt. I think he played one preseason friendly for Madrid, and I don't even think he played like a full game or anything. So he needs minutes. He needs to adjust to the pace of the Premier League as well. And you can't drop Lindelof after a performance like that, man. He was really good.
What do you think it sends the wrong message?
Yeah, I mean, like you don't just put it on a plate for man. Like Varane knows he's going to be our first choice centre back eventually, but you don't just give it to him like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let Lindelof have a couple games and show, man. Like, listen, I'm on both of your necks. Perform, or else I'm coming in. You know what I mean? And if starters you mean to go on thing, I was really, really impressed with Lindelof. Really, really impressed with Lindelof, man.
General managers ask questions to find the right players, like, do they have ice in their veins? When you're hiring, you can use Indeed assessments to make sure you find the right candidates with the skills you need. Don't just hope your perfect candidate will find you. Indeed's hiring tools help you cut through the noise to hire faster and smarter. In fact, Indeed Instant Match provides a list of quality candidates whose resumes are on Indeed the moment you post a sponsored job. And with Indeed assessments, choose from 135 skills tests to help make sure you're finding applications from people with skills you need. Get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Offer valid through September 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, they call him Iceman. We've had conversations among ourselves of
What's up, Gaffer?
Sweden set up, but the fact they've named him captain suggests that he's got something or other about him as a leader. Yeah, he's got something or other about him as a leader. Dre, if it's you, do you keep Lindelof in the team, or do you take him out for Varane immediately?
Drop that guy with the quicks. Like, bro, we've seen Lindelof for years. We know what he's about. It'll give you an 8 out of 10. The next week, it's 3 or 4 out of 10. You can't risk it this season, like in terms of like inconsistent performances. Get Lindelof, thanks, great performance and everything. We'll need you for Carabao Cup when we go to like Port Vale side. Like, it's all good and everything, but cool. Varane, Raphael, take the spot, bro. I'm not here for Lindelof. Nah.
Cool. I've dropped the live show link in the chat. Listen, part of the reason why fans aren't so confident about us actually being title challengers is the lack of a DM. Some people have suggested Lindelof in DM. Do we see any business being done in these last few weeks of the transfer window in terms of us bringing in a midfielder, or do you think this is Ollie's lot and he's going to use McFred, Matic in sub situations, a variety of formations, maybe experiment with a Lindelof? And if that is the case, how confident does that make you guys for this season?
As long as it's not McFred or McTominay or Fred in the DM, I could deal with Lindelof at DM. I think that could work. Business-wise,
no, they rate Lindelof now, yeah.
If you can do the job, I'll take that. Other than that, Lindelof on the bench next to Jesse and them, man. But as far as business-wise, unless there's a target that Ollie really likes and immediately becomes available, I don't see any other business taking part. Especially United takes so long to get transfers done anyway. Probably start negotiations now will get done to the next transfer window. So I don't see no business happening.
Cool. Sebi, I'm gonna afford you a moment of shamelessness. It wouldn't be a Mugger pod with Sebi without it. Scott McTominay against Leeds. Break that performance down for us, because in the Mugger group chat you've been saying a lot, but I think it's important the listeners hear it, and also we get that recorded.
Gargantuan, man. Gargantuan. Come on, man. You know the boy, man.
I don't know the boy. What I do know is a couple of.
What he's a big game player.
What I do know.
He's a massive game player.
Allow it, man.
What I do know is a few weeks ago when you're on the pod, you said I can't do this McFred thing anymore.
Yeah, I can't do the McFred thing, but I can do the McTom thing. You know what I'm saying? That's you didn't read the small print, brother. You didn't read the small print, brother. In that small print, McTom, I can do the McTom thing, because for me, again, as I said, I've always been I'm not under any illusion of McTom's ability. And I'm not deluded in regards to me thinking that we don't need a DM. Like, we need a DM 100%. But I always felt under Fergie's tenure, we had players that came in for specialist games, the specialist jobs. And you see the first way how McTominay, how Jose first brought in McTominay, that's always how I always saw him. I always saw him as a closer out of games, or in a particular game, let's bring him on, because we need a particular set of skills. I.e., when at the start of the game, Oli spoke about energy, right? Yeah. Oli spoke about the energy and just about him being fit and getting around. Leeds that are pressing, that are probably going to be very, very fit. This is an ideal game for McTominay, right? So I think there's specific games we can have him in, and I think he actually excelled in the game yesterday because a big thing about McTominay is, he's up for battles and stuff like that, but interceptions sometimes are lacking. But he intercepted the ball really well, and he was quick to get the ball to the players that are more creative, i.e. Pogba. That's how the Bruno goal came about. Interception, pass to Pogba, goal from Bruno. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if he can do that, again, I'm going to be happy for him to play 15 to 20 games a season. But really and truly, again, we do need a DM. But the critique of McTominay is surely unjust, because everybody knows his ability. You just have to use him in the right games. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think yesterday was a very, very good game, and it was similar to who do they call that? Is it Johan Cruyff? They used to call him. Yeah, it was just kind of similar to Johan. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So big up my boy Scotty, man.
Yeah, don't worry. We know that this loving won't last any longer than maybe a couple of weeks. Listen, Timmy, Dre, I see the disgust on your face. We don't really acknowledge the thoughts of a madman. Yes, some of you will say you give him the platform. Yes, we'll give him the platform. He's part of Mugger. But among ourselves, we won't really acknowledge the madness of the man that is Sebi. Cool. Fantastic. So let's look ahead to that game next Sunday away at Southampton. They're a team who, we've had mixed performances against them over the years. We had the 9-0? 9-0 last season. We had the 2-2. Remember that pod, Timmy? The post-game 2-2 when we were playing COVID ball. Still probably, that last minute, was it what was the guy's name?
Obafemi. Michael Obafemi.
Yeah, the last minute equalizer. So we've had our moments against them. I think did we have a 3-2 against them as well last season with Cavani? We've had the last few years, we've had quite a few kind of battles with them. I don't want to downplay the game we had on Saturday, but just like last season, Leeds away definitely play into our hands. So it's definitely not a performance that for me I can be like, oh wow, I'm blown away. Southampton, I think, present a more tricky opposition. And it's they know how they want to play. You know how Hassan Hootel tries to play. How well he does that based on the players he has is another conversation. But I think going away to them off the back of the away record we had last season as well, I think it'll be a nice early season test. So I'll start with you again, Dre. What are your expectations going into that game on Sunday? How would you like to see us line up? and let's get an early prediction from you. We'll have a pre-game Patreon pod on this, but since we're here, we're gentlemen enjoying life off the back of a 5-1. Shoot the shit, talk some shit, man.
I think we will win on Sunday. I'm not even worried about Southampton and crap, but I feel like the only way we won't win is complacency. And I've seen many times with this team under Ollie, we get a good win, then the next game we drop points. And that's something that we desperately need to iron out. So the only way we don't win is we beat ourselves, innit? Like, it won't be the same as Leeds on
Sun Tzu, I see you. The art of war.
It won't be the same as Leeds on Saturday. Southampton will not afford us or allow us to go toe-to-toe with them. They're going to sit back and see if we can break them down. So for us, we've just got to be patient and take our chances when we get them in it. And don't let Southampton in. Don't let Ward-Prowse think he's David Beckham and start trying to hit free kicks like he loves to do against us. Like, be professional, get the job done. I think we will smack them up. We're going 3 or 4-0. Hopefully it's not McTominay and Fred. Like, I think Matic might come in. Sancho will start. Hopefully,
do you think so? Oh,
yeah.
For Dan James, I mean, it's not a hard choice, is it?
Well, that MU TV competition winner, Dan James, needs to be escorted. I'm not even cuss Dan James. We won on Saturday. We're good. We'll leave it.
I want to ask you guys. I think he's staying now because the talk is about Ahmad going out on loan. Do we think Lingard stays, or do we think he goes to West Ham?
Oli said Sanchez was had a big role to play, so it might be hitting everyone with the hezzy. But Oli did say that he's looking forward to see like Lingard, and he's got a big role to play, and he done well on loan last season or whatever. But again, he said, yeah, Sanchez has got a big role to play, and he shipped him off in it. But personally, I do believe Lingard will stay, and I do think he has the ability to definitely improve the whole aspect of the squad. Do you know what I'm saying? And come on for a Bruno or whatever, and just give better utilization of the squad, because a lot of the players were suffering from burnout last season, and Oli just kept playing them to their death. So yeah, I think I'd like to keep Lingard, and it'll be good for us.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Listen, somebody asked about how congested the season is, and it will be. We'll be fighting on multiple fronts if we want to put a genuine title challenge in. My thing about Jesse, though, is I think you only get the best out of him where he's getting regular minutes. I don't think this sort of not playing him for 2-3 weeks and try and drop him in for a start here or there will lead to the best performances from him. Obviously, throughout the summer, he was able to kind of show us the amount of work that he put in mentally and working with a coach to get himself back to his top level at West Ham. And I think he's at the stage now where it's like, are you content with being on our bench? Being on our bench now doesn't get you into the England team. Being the main man at West Ham, who are in Europa League this year, has you on the fringe of being in that England side, and obviously depending on how well you play in injuries and opportunities, etc., you're an England international. I think what we'll probably want to offer him won't be enough. And do you think in Ollie's mind, he's ahead of Van der Beek in the pecking order? That's for any of you.
I think he's going to go, to be honest. But, so I don't think he's ahead of him in the pecking order. I saw something today from, I don't know if he's third choice, West Ham keeper or something, but the guy's on Instagram, he's at Jesse Lingard. Like, see you soon or something. I can't remember exactly what it said, but seems like he wants Lingard.
See that Rush Green. I know you.
Yeah, there you go.
I know you want to come back.
Yeah, so I guess Rush, that must be their training complex or something, isn't it? So
in Chadwell.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna go. I don't want him to. I really like Jesse. I don't know if he was injured at the weekend or he had a knock or something. Because why wasn't he in the squad?
COVID.
Oh, he's got COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I think he just come back today.
Oh, that's sad, man. would have been nice to see Jesse balling with these, man. It would have been nice to see it.
Was that a genuine sad, or was that that's sad like Drake when KD off of the Achilles? Like, that's sad.
No, bro. You man know I like Jesse, innit? So I like Jesse, bro. So I really want to see him because Jesse's a fluid footballer, innit? He might not be the best footballer, but he's very fluid. And with games and confidence, he's actually a very, very good player. The problem is, like you said, is he going to get enough chances to keep a run of form going in this United team? Which is probably the answer is probably going to be a no. But it's up to him to hit the ground running, because if he stays and hits the ground running, he's just going to have to make it hard for Ollie to drop him. Because if he keeps playing well, then Ollie can't drop him, right?
Agreed.
Money,
Let's see.
If the money's right, he's gone.
How much would you sell him for?
30, 35.
Well, I think 25 to 30. I think 25 to 30. I'll be happy to take. He's a starter for a top half of the table side, and he's a key player for them. I think, and he's English as well. So 25 to 30 million. West Ham, give us the money. Let's just get it cracking, man. We've got a lot of players, not to mention the ones who are in the first team now. What about the youngsters who are keeping an eye out? James Garner hasn't signed a new contract. He wants to keep his options open. They're looking at and we're seeing a lot more at these big clubs now. Chelsea with a fire sale of like 5 of their youngsters. These guys are cottoned on now. I'm not content for you to keep me on the bench and just loan me out to lower league Prem teams and championship sides. I want to know what is my pathway to the first team. So where I'm trying to have a pathway to the first team, and you're still signing guys from abroad, not to mention the guys who are already blocking my way now. We've got a batch of 2 or 3 or 4 really good young midfielders. We need to create a pathway for these guys to get into the first team. We've got Medri, you've got Galbraith, who guys were raving about today, and you've got Garner. And ideally, you want 1 or 2 of them to get into the first team. But they need to know that the space is there for them to do so, or they'll go elsewhere. So if that means sacrificing Jesse and making some money while doing it, for me, so, thank you for the memories, Jesse. But go and enjoy your career, man. And I know you'll love it in London. But let's finish up with some listeners' questions. You know how it goes when we win. And we win handsomely. They have so many. They want to know so many things, so many thoughts, guys. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What's your favorite color of shorts on the kit? Blah blah blah. When we don't win, it's cricket. So obviously, off the back of a 5-1 win against Leeds, we're going to be chocker. So we'll try and get through these as quickly as possible. I'll start with a question from Alan Salon Esquire. Who is the club's best finisher, Greenwood or Bruno? I'll start with you, Seb.
Greenwood.
No brainer.
Yeah. Anybody don't think Greenwood?
Greenwood's top 3 finishers in the Premier League.
In the league, I think I saw a tweet that you mentioned about. Was it you who tweeted that?
Yeah.
And what names are coming up as above him?
I got Kane obviously a lot, and I got Son a lot. I got a couple KDBs, but I shut that one down. I got one Salah, shut that one down. Then a couple idiots with they're saying like Danny Ings and Bamford and guys like that, shut that shit down as well. Bro, let's be real. Like in football, Greenwood might even be top 5 finishers in world football right now. And listen, man, I'm going but like which 5? Like you go Kane, Son in the Premier League, you go Lewandowski only in Germany, you'll go Messi in Paris. I don't think there's any finisher in Italy that's a better finisher than him. I don't think there's any finisher in Spain that's a better finisher.
Ronaldo in Italy.
Bro, Ronaldo's not a better finisher than Greenwood. He's not. He's a better goal scorer. He's not a better finisher than Greenwood. And I was having this chat again the other day because I was telling man that I think Greenwood's top 5 finishers that Man United have produced in the Premier League era. And I have him ahead of Ronaldo. I really do. Ronaldo's a great goal scorer. Don't get me wrong. Great.
I think underrated Ronaldo's finishing, to be honest.
I'm not trying to diss Ron, innit? Like, that's my guy. But bro, Greenwood is different.
Ronaldo, left foot, right foot, and when you add the head, his ability in the air, I think that takes him clear of Mason.
Bro, but Mason's left foot and right foot finishing is better, bro.
But the header in. Ronaldo's like the best header in
header height, bro. That comes with age.
It don't come with age. You see what Ronaldo? You see what Ronaldo steps off, and it's like a Bowen.
All right, cool. If you want to give it to Ronaldo, then fine. But then that would have him sixth anyway. So just
we'd have to sit down. We'd have to sit down and discuss it. What we do know is we do have a prodigious talent on our hands. And I want to see those sort of movements that he made for the second goal. I want to see a lot more of that. We know that he's gonna, if he gets into positions to get chances, he's gonna finish them. A lot of the time when he had his dry spell last year, he was just going through games and he wasn't getting even a shot. He wasn't even getting a position to shift to even get a shot off, let alone getting what we call a clear-cut chance. And then obviously he had that run towards the end of the season that just shows him, give him chances and he will bag. He's physically developing. He's getting more comfortable. And as much as we talk about his finishing, we always forget also the fact that he's a really good footballer as well. He's actually a really good technical player. He can beat players dribbling. He can get the ball back to goal, turn, retain possession, and he can turn. He plays the game 360, so he can turn left, he can turn right, and he can use either foot, and he can give it off, or he can just go. So as he continues to develop, continues to get comfortable, continue to learn little nuances and tricks of just being a pro, etc., etc., I only expect that to get better. For me, I'm looking for him to get 20 goals. I say that,
bro,
20 goals.
I'm not going to lie, bro. I said that as well. 20 league goals. You think Mason can't get it? Bro, start man up front all season.
If he starts up front, he gets 20 league goals.
21 and 22. I promise you.
If he starts up front, he gets 20 league goals. But I think that it'll be rotated between himself and Cavani with a bit of Martial. So I think I'd say 20 all.
Now he's got the chance. He needs to cement that position as his. I tell you now, he needs a brace next week against Southampton. If he grabs a brace, bro, I'm dead serious. If he grabs a brace next week, that's it. He's gone clear. That's his position now.
Yeah. Right, we'll keep an eye on that one. The next question is from Zeki98. We were just talking about it. So to be honest, we've answered this one, Zeki. What do you boys think of Greenwood's development? He seems to be more than just a goal scorer. His all-round game is looking more and more developed. Saturday's performance was a top example of this, so we've answered that one. Superfly MK, who would you like to see Ahmad go on loan to? Do you think Ollie will rotate his team much this season and manage his squad better?
I wouldn't want to see Ahmad go on loan, to be honest. I'd like to see him get them Daniel James minutes, but if he did go on loan, they've been touting Crystal Palace. I don't think that's a bad loan. I wouldn't be against that loan. I also wouldn't be against the Aston Villa loan as well. I think he's better than Traore. So,
do you think they'll start him out though? Like I know we've discussed Tuan Zebe's move, and
Ahmad is so good. If he has to start over flipping Traore, bro.
I think on the talent wise, yes. I think that he's still slight, he's still a kid, and I think a lot of that will give the kind of the durability and just the size and just to being a man in comparison to Ahmad will mean that I think that the minutes end up being pretty similar. I think for me anyway, I want to see him go somewhere where he is like almost undisputedly their top 2-3 players, and the ball is coming to him a lot rather than him being an option. And you're getting used to that kind of attention and that physicality of the Premier League, and he goes from there. We already see that he makes runs in behind the box. He gets in between the line. He's got a playmaker eye as well. So this kid is a real talent, man. I just don't know. Let's say he was to say, are those Daniel James minutes enough? Because remember, we've got Sancho now. So are those Dan James minutes enough for Ahmad to develop the way we want him to develop? Is what I'd ask.
No, but it'll be Dan James minutes plus his own minutes, isn't it?
But the thing is,
I don't think he'll get a lot of minutes.
The thing is, I would have wanted to see Mata gone in that regard, because I think Mata dribs away at minutes as well. Like, no disrespect to him, good guy to have around the dressing room and whatnot. If Mata was gone, then that makes sense to me, because Mata's going to get in and around 10 starts. He'll play in Europe. He'll play those away games. Get rid of Mata. Daniel James, you sell him as well. Those, for me, that's a good chunk of minutes for Ahmad to play. I remember when Ronaldo was 18, 19, first season, we said he's going to play. He's going to start half the games. and you just slowly develop and you build him up from there. And I'd love to see us do something similar with Ahmad. But yeah, in terms of the second question, Dre, do you think Ollie will rotate his team much this season and manage his squad better?
I hope he does, but this is the same man that says he's very stubborn, isn't it? And like, it's one of those when he'll try to rotate, it doesn't go well, he'll revert back to type and bring on Bruno, probably Sancho, Rashford if he's fit, and then he'll just stick with the same team week in, week out. If we are going to have a successful season, he needs to rotate. He's got a good enough squad that he can rotate. But I think with him, he just doesn't trust certain members of the team, i.e. Van der Beek. Like, I'm pretty sure last season we would love to give Bruno some rest. And he tried it against West Ham. And he started Van der Beek, and Van der Beek shit the bed in it. And he brought on Bruno and Rashford, and we came back and won the game. Since then, I feel like he doesn't trust him. I don't think he trusts other players like Matic to come in and do a job, say if he wants to rest McTominay or Fred. So I think with Ollie, it's just a simple case. He's just got to trust what he's got now. If he does that, then we're sure to have a good season. Trophy minimum.
Cool. Next question is from Zeki98 again. Everyone seems to be writing us off simply because of no DM signing. Do you guys think we will have to rely on our ability to outscore everyone to mount a title challenge?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. When I say 21 and 22, I sincerely believe that we can do it, but it's got a lot to do with our forward players like scoring bags of goals. We're gonna get caught out with Fred and McTominay in DM in centre mid. We're gonna get caught out regularly with them in centre mid. But luckily, we now have a defense that, for me, is one of the best in world football. So even if they bypass the Freds and McToms, they still then have to bypass that back four, which is going to be pretty hard to do. I do think we need a DM. That just cements the fact that we're going to win the league for me. But I do still think we can win without a DM because our forward players between them are just going to be they're just going to be too good, man. The amount of goals that we're going to score this season, trust me, bro. We're outscoring City this season. Facts.
Okay. Got a question from Chooks, and I'm asking it because it's kind of related to that conversation we have about a DM. What realistic signing for 45 million would make you think we were certified title challengers?
Locatelli, but he's gone now.
Has he gone to Juve, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd have taken Locatelli. I'll take Douglas Luiz as well. Ruben Neves, I will take. Oh, I'd absolutely take Ruben Neves, actually. Bring me Neves, bro. Huh?
40 million is available for.
Yeah, I'd take him. Facts. I'd try and even do a little Jesse Lingard swap with him, bro. Let him play at Wolves.
That's Dan James in that deal.
Yeah, bro.
Just because, we don't want Dan James. Nah, just take him, man. Don't
worry. You can have him.
Yeah, but he's like
it's on the house. It's on the house.
Just no. We insist.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Cool. We got a next question from Vina Mounty. Don't kill me, but Varane, do you think we would get away with McTom single pivot? I'm desperate.
Bro, with McTominay in a single pivot, yeah, we still win the league, bro. We just have to win every game 6-4, bro. You know what I mean? But we'll still win the league, though. We'll still win.
Next question is from _active_T_. Thoughts on Tielemans? Would love a pivot of him and Basuma.
Yeah, good player, man. Very good player. I'm having him, but it's still not addressing the main issue that we have in centre midfield. But it's more quality. So I'm having him, but I think before we think of getting like centre mids, we'd be looking at a DM before anything else. So
Calm. That's fine. What's the first choice front three when everyone is fit? Is there even such a thing as a first 11 these days, or is it game by game?
I think with what we've got, I don't think there's a set front three. I could say best front three would probably be Sancho, Greenwood, and Rashford. But
That's my front three.
For certain games, a different front three would be needed. Like, I would say those teams that
League Cup games.
Yeah, even those games where they don't give you much space, like a Burnley or something, then Cavani might be the one to play because his movement up front is different level, isn't it? But yeah, that front three, Rashford, Greenwood, Sancho would probably be the best three. But we've got enough time to rotate it.
Yeah, that's my front three as well. If I could play them three every game, that's what I would do.
Okay. Yeah, we got options. I think part of Ollie's job will be to manage the personalities, but also know the games that suit certain players over others for true. But yeah, so you guys have answered the next question. The next question was excellent start, I'd say, but any of the lads worry that the starting lineup hasn't changed much since last season? Also, who you starting? Centre forward, Greenwood, Cavani, or Anthony Martial? You guys have said Greenwood. In terms of the starting lineup not changing, I mean, Dan James comes out straight away because we know he's played because he's been in training. So Sancho comes into that starting lineup. And then the other one is Varane. But the players that we do have starting, we know Luke Shaw is a different player than he was at the start of last season. Maguire has come on leaps and bounds as well. You got Varane, you got Wan-Bissaka. That's a very strong back four, in my opinion. Again, we come to that midfield area, and that's where we're always going to have this conversation about not being so confident about the pairing. But then you've got Bruno and Pogba. Like Timmy said, for all intents and purposes, two of the top players in the league, top players. And then you've got the forward options, Rashford to come back as well. But then you've got Sancho, you've got Greenwood, you've got Cavani. Martial didn't look too bright when he came on. But obviously he hasn't played for a while, so we'll give him a bit of time. But a half-decent Martial makes a good squad option too. And listen, guys, as little as I have to see Dan James, the better for me, for my mental health, for my football club. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. A question from Doc K32. What will it take for us to build a world-class or at least competent functioning midfield? Even Arsenal and Spurs have good first phase players.
Say just the DM, you know. It's like the midfield is just the DM. Like, as long as it's not McTominay and Fred in there, the DM with Pogba, that can work. We're not far off in terms of what we need in midfield, to be honest.
Agreed. That's it. And like the names you guys mentioned there, Neves and Basuma, Douglas Luiz, all you need to do is slot one of those guys into that role, and then I'm joining 21 and 22. Now I'm like, I can see it. A few things have to go right for us, but I can see it. And logically, you say if a team comes second and you've added Jadon Sancho and Varane, you should only accumulate more points. But you bring in the context of Liverpool, you bring in the context of improved Chelsea. They've signed Red Rom, well, not Red Rom anymore, Blue Rom. So they're gonna be there and there. They're gonna be there and thereabouts.
Hold on 1 second. Is Sebi? I said Sebi. Is Mariah saying that he's like somewhat on the 21 and 22 train?
We should be competing. We should be competing. Yes.
So you're there with us then, yeah?
I wouldn't say I'm on the train because you know how I feel about Ollie, but I'm at the station.
You're at the station. All right.
Platform 9 3/4 and whatnot.
Just me. Listen, it's gonna be an army this season. I'm telling you, bro. But
you know those vids that they post on Twitter, like this bare black guy just walking in suits in America. That's gonna be us and the Mugger Mafia. That's it. Just us walking in suits. Cool. The next question. It's a good one from Chucks. Who from this current squad would get into our 0708 squad? I think loads of players would get into the squad. I'd rather ask who would get into the starting lineup. I think that would probably be a bit more of a interesting question to ask. So, so we had Van der Sar. Yeah,
no, it's our team, isn't it? Sorry, it's this team.
Who from this team would get into the 0708 starting lineup? I think the squad, a lot of them, but let's say starting lineup. So the 0708 team, we've got Van der Sar in goal. You've got Wes Brown at right back. You've got Rio and Vidic. You've got Patrice Evra. You've got a midfield made up of Carrick, Scholes, and Hargreaves. You've got Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez. Who from this squad gets into that team?
What was the midfield?
Hargreaves, Scholes, and Carrick.
Oh no, we played 4-4-2 though, didn't we? Played that wing.
He would at times. We kind of switch. Sometimes it'd even be a 4-5-1 as well, and sometimes it'd be a 4-3-3.
I mean, obviously, ability-wise, Pogba will get in, but I might just say no one though.
It's a tough cop, man. It's a tough cop for them to get into that team. I can't lie.
Yeah, I might just say no one. Like I said, ability-wise,
is Wan-Bissaka better than Wes Brown? Was that year?
No,
just defensively, but forwards was Wes Brown. Wes Brown was
I'm having Wes Brown still for now. I'm having Evra, Rio and Vidic speak for themselves, bro. It might just only be Pogba, and that will be Carrick.
Who would you take out for him if you were to?
It'd be Hargreaves.
And then what? Play one of Scholes or Carrick deeper? Scholes.
Yeah,
really,
play Carrick deeper.
Interesting. Carrick at that time had a good engine and he got around the pitch quite well. Scholes was obviously coming towards that. Yeah, he's
the only one of the three that can do that properly. Either that or let Hargreaves sit and then Pogba come in for Carrick, and Pogba and Scholes are the 2 8s. But bro, I think he's the only person that's got even a sniff of getting in. But like I said, I probably don't change anyone.
Don't change your winning formula. I hear you. Got a question from Vicinity TT. Does anyone on the cast still think Pogba should play pivot? I think it's clear now that final third role is by far his best. Is there anyone who still thinks he should play in the pivot?
I don't think it's about playing him in the pivot. It's just about having him on the pitch. Like, he just needs to be on the pitch. He just needs to be on the pitch. And if it means, because when Rashford comes back, Rashford has to play on the left, right? And I'm not benching Rashford for Pogba. So, well, yeah, you got Fred and McTominay playing in the pivot. So Pogba's putting one of them on the bench easily. You know what I mean? I want to go to a 4-3-3. Until we're at a 4-3-3, then we're at this sort of like standstill. So I'll still play him in the pivot because he has to be on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So
okay, cool. What do you think, Dre? Do you agree with Timmy, or do you see it a bit differently?
You shouldn't be playing at the pivot. If it's a 4-3-3 and we play with 2 8s, then that can work with Pogba. But the further he is up the pitch, the more help he is and benefit to us. I think if he plays in that pivot, especially the time when he tries to dilly dally on the ball, it's going to put us under unneeded pressure. We could concede a goal. So to me, we've tried it with him at the 6. Don't work. Just keep him further forward. That's where he does his damage, isn't it?
Why do you people just think that this guy can't play in the pivot? Like, it baffles me, bro. It honestly baffles me.
I think his skill set is that he can play in the pivot, and we've seen him have good games in the pivot. I feel like I feel the way his game is naturally inclined to, so the things that he naturally looks to do